Okay, so I'm joined here with Mateusz from Poland, and Mateusz has very generously agreed to come on to the show to talk about the recent Oldhammer Poland event. So, hi Mateusz, and thanks for coming on.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure, mate. And yeah, I was really looking forward to our chat this week after you agreed to come on, and we can see some images if you're watching the YouTube channel of this interview. You can see some great models of various armies that have attended the recent narrative campaign event that this Poland Oldhammer event holds every time it's every year, I should say, and we're really curious about how do we actually play this campaign. I saw some images of like a 6th edition Mighty Empires map, and maybe one of the models of each army represented on one of the tiles and that kind of thing. It looks like a really interesting way to play a weekend of Warhammer. And yeah, we're just curious about like, how to play it, what kind of scenarios are there, what are the players fighting for, and what
Okay.
armies were represented and that kind of thing. So in your own words, mate, in your own time, give us a rundown about the Polish Oldhammer event.
Okay. So this main event of the Oldhammer Week in Poland is a narrative campaign, and it was really nice prepared by the orgs. And how it goes like this: that yes, we have a campaign map prepared, like the Mighty Empires, and we have to choose one of our models to represent our army. And they were moved around this campaign map. So we would choose our enemy for our next battle, and the special objectives that were part of the scenario rules for each battle. 12 players were attending this main event. 5 of these armies were dwarfs, so that may be visible on the photos. So 5 of 12 armies were dwarfs. Then there we have 2 armies of dark elves, 2 armies of wood elves, 2 armies of Bretonia, which one of them was mine. And yeah, about scenario rules. First 2 games, we have them taken one-on-one, as the campaign map has shown. My first enemy was one of the dwarves, because it was hard not to stumble upon one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, pun intended.
Yeah.
And the first scenario I have played had some special additional rules, which was there was a loose ship herd on our map, and we could gain some additional victory points if our units gathered some ship, and the reward was for them was victory points at the end of battle. There was also a ship herder there, who at the turn 4 would attack the nearest enemy. So that was the first game, the first scenario with some ship. The second scenario I played against wood elves was a classic scenario of attacker and defender. The wood elves were defending the little stronghold, and my Bretonians had to attack them. The special victory points were given to attacker if he was in the defender deployment zone at the end of the game. And my Bretonians managed to do that, so I was really proud of them. However, it was maybe not so hard for them as they move 16 inches every turn. So there was not a problem with that. Okay, and the third and the final game of this campaign, we have to take in pairs. We were paired. I was paired with one of the dark elves against two players, two dwarf players, and so that was like the one of the final battles, which was taken on the single table. And the special scenario rules here was a pair of ogres who were, I don't know, sleeping, resting in the middle of the battlefield, and we have to be careful to not wake them up because they would charge our troops and spread mayhem on the battlefield. And after that, unfortunately, I and my dark elf ally, we unfortunately lost this last battle. But I know that the next objective for the two victorious armies was to fight each other after they defeated us. So that is the whole campaign and the scenarios and how it was worked out. So yeah.
Interesting. Okay, and you talked about having allies. So was it like each of the 3 games you would pair with another person at the event? Is that correct?
No. The first 2 games was one-on-one. Yeah, one versus one.
Okay.
And only the third one, the final battle, was taken in pairs against other pairs. Yeah.
How was that worked out? Like, was it just like a random draw for the final battle?
I think the orcs have this figured out some way according to the campaign map, but I'm not sure how exactly it was worked out because I was occupied with my battles and didn't have a chance to see how the draw of the opponents and allies was made.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's really interesting. And I think that's it's definitely the highlight of the Poland Oldhammer event there, that you have like a massive 5th edition campaign. And I think if I was going to go there, I would definitely want to participate in this narrative campaign of yours.
Yeah,
really
I would
fun.
recommend it. Yeah, because it sounds fun, and it is fun actually. And every other year, the next editions of Oldhammer Weekend Poland are organized. There is always something new that the orcs came up with, and last year when I was there, it was completely something different. So every other year, something new, something surprising is made up. So that's a fun part too.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And the event itself, is it held in a game store?
No, it's like a game club where people are gathering for various games. I heard there is some Horus Heresy events played there too. But at this weekend, we have the whole place for us. So all the tables are all pure Oldhammer.
Wow. And what was the total turnout? How many people actually came on the day?
It was a lot of people. I'm not sure how many exactly. Like I said, in the campaign itself, there was 12 players, but on the other tables, various other games took place. I saw Rogue Trader, I saw War Master, I saw even the old Citadel combat cards game played. So many people attended other things, not the campaign itself. And of course, on Friday and on Sunday, I heard there was some people too playing Talisman or Mordheim even. So yeah, a lot of people participating in different activities.
Right, cool. And was there an actual prize given to, like, for example, best painted or best sportsmanship or overall winner of the campaign at all on the day?
Yeah, there was a couple of competitions, mostly for the players who participated in the campaign, because there was this competition of the best painted army taking part in the campaign. Also, there was 3 categories of painting competition, like single model, unit, and monster or other bigger models. And there was one other competition, because the orgs of the campaign care very much for the narrative part, for the story behind the campaign, and every player participating has to. There's this requirement that everyone has to provide a backstory of their army, and then there is this competition when the best backstory is chosen. And I can brag a little that I got a gold in this competition this year. So I'm really proud of myself. Awesome. Because I really like to come up with some narratives about my army, about the heroes in it, and it was appreciated this year with this first place prize.
Well, that's great. Well, that leads me to the next question. What is the backstory of your army?
It was connected with the main theme of the event, because the orcs gave us the main backstory earlier in a form of short novel, and it was about search for the magic lamp in the Badlands. So I decided to, I came up with an idea that I will include Morgiana in my list, and that she is looking for this magic lamp in the Badlands, and there are knights gathered that will accompany her there. So that was basically my backstory for this campaign.
Excellent, that's great. And the backstories for each army, was it sort of shared online before the event or during the event?
Yeah, because we have to write it down as a form of application for the campaign. This is a requirement. So you have to write down your army backstory just to be signed up on a list for the event. And they are shared on the event site, but unfortunately they are in Polish, so there is only a handful of people who are able to read them.
Okay, that's okay. But Google Translate will fix that, I'm sure. And okay. Now, of the 12 people, well, actually, of all the people who attended the event, were anybody was anybody there an outsider, like who came out from outside of Poland to attend the event this year? Any visitors?
In the campaign itself, I think not. We have all been from Poland, but maybe in the event there were some people attending from other countries. I've heard the last year we had the visitors from Czech and from Italy, so maybe they were there this year too. But I was so occupied with the campaign that I didn't have a chance to meet them.
Right. I know that next year, Marcel and I think Davide are planning to come over. I thought it was this year, but it's actually next year. So next year, you'll have the pleasure of meeting those two guys. And I'm sure they're very
That's
keen
great.
to join your narrative campaign or run their own sort of event, like a scenario event or something like that on the day. So that'd be really cool.
Yeah, definitely. I can recommend.
Now, if someone wanted to come to the event and maybe wanted to run their own game or anything like that, is there enough space and tables for people to do that?
I think yes, because there were some loose tables. Last year it would be difficult because last year we had almost 30 players taking part in this campaign, but this year, as we were only 12, there were some empty tables. So if you would like to come with your army and play outside of the campaign in some Hero Hammer game or any other Oldhammer game, I think it would be okay.
Wow, so you had 30 people turning up last year?
Yeah. It was like 30 people, and last year event, the campaign was wholly taken in pairs. It was a pair campaign because there were so many people and so not many tables that we have to stick in pairs and play together.
That's incredible. So I'm really hoping that people who had attended before start to come back, now that sort of things are sort of settling down a bit more and people, the vaccinations are up and that kind of thing, and the risks are low and that kind
I
of
think
stuff.
maybe it was less people this year because of that. Maybe the pandemic situation was stopping them. But I hope next year there will be even more people.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, I've had one person on my YouTube channel reply to say that they live in Poland and they're definitely going to come next year. So I'm sure some people don't even know that this actually is a thing. So hopefully with this interview and with Marcel tomorrow, that we're going to get more people aware of what this is and what you can do there, and that people can come along in future events so they can partake and participate in the games, which is the main thing. Yeah. And
yeah, sure.
as far as painting is concerned, is there kind of like a rule basically that you cannot put down any unpainted miniatures on the table?
The army has to be fully painted, so this is the requirement that we all have to meet. But that is the only requirement. So get to painting, and I hope you will be able to play next year.
That's good. I think that's good that you sort of, basically said there's a requirement that you have to have them painted. I think that's a really good idea. And it's a good rule, and I think most people would agree to that and say, yeah, it does look much better, because we've seen all these really nicely painted models on our screens at the moment.
The photos are great, and that is because of that rule. So that is a plus side, definitely.
Was there a best painted army kind of prize at all?
Yeah, in all of the competitions, there were prizes provided by the numerous sponsors. So everyone, including the best painted army, was rewarded.
Right, okay. And who were the sponsors for your event this year?
Oh, there were so many. I think, okay, I will not be looking for a list right now, but a couple of companies from Poland, like MicroArt Studio, like Cromlech, like Hexistore, and many sponsors from around the Europe, like Dunkeldorf Miniatures, like Squid Games, and so on and so on. The whole list is available on oldhammer.pl, the site of the event.
Okay, that's excellent that they're doing. I think maybe Nightmare Games also was a sponsor too.
Yeah.
If I
I
remember
think
correctly.
too. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. So hopefully, like I said, people come back and it starts growing again. And, over the years, you'll get more and more people coming along. And hopefully the capacity, the space you have will accommodate new people coming. But
Yeah, I think it will. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I that's one of my objectives, or one of my wishes on my bucket list, to come to this event one year. I'd love to see Poland just as a country first and foremost, but yeah, to have this to go to as well will be just just so great, and to meet all you guys there looks very, very exciting. Now, did you guys have some kind of like a post dinner kind of event, like everyone went out for dinner and had a few drinks and that kind of thing after the 3 days?
I think there was something like that on Friday, but unfortunately I wasn't able to go there. But I've met a couple of great people during the event on Saturday, so there's always time to talk, to admire each other's armies, and to get to know people. So yeah, maybe next year, if there will be some after party, I will be able to attend and meet even more people there, because we have a really great Oldhammer community.
Yep, you sure do. Yeah, so I'm really surprised that there is such an event in Poland, and I hope this idea catches on with other people, because obviously there was the Bring Out Your Lead event, which was the same weekend.
The same weekend, yeah.
And I'm hoping that other countries will follow suit, because obviously we can't go to every event ourselves, but each country will have their own little Oldhammer event, or whatever it might be, like a Warhammer narrative campaign tournament or whatever it might be. It'd be just cool to see that pop up in different countries around the world. And hopefully we'll see more and more of them come up. So, because I think there is enough interest out there for people that they can host, a venue for maybe 15 to 20 people. I don't see that being, too unrealistic.
Yeah, I think there are many players in many countries who would like to attend some event like that, because I think, in the contrary of what is said in the internet, the Oldhammer is still alive and there are many people playing it. So it is only a matter of time to get together and organize something.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Now, for next year, have they already are they going to do it around about the same time next year? The same kind of dates?
Probably it will be the beginning of October, because last year it was the same time, and I think the years before too. So it will be probably again the maybe first, maybe second weekend of October.
And for people who are interested in attending, how do they register? Is there a certain website they need to go to?
There is the website that I already mentioned, oldhammer.pl, but also you can find a Facebook group with the same name. And probably the best way would be to contact the orgs by some email or Facebook. The contact info would probably be on the event site.
Cool. Okay. So if people want to do that, I'll probably drop a link in the show notes for this video so that people can just click on that and go to that, so that next year they're ready and can make plans if they need to travel and that kind of thing to get there to play on the day. So just taking a step aside from the Oldhammer event for just a moment, Mateusz, how did you actually get into wargaming?
Okay, to make it short, I started my adventure with Warhammer about 15 years ago, when I got my first white dwarf, when I started collecting my first army, which was Vampire Counts. The box of plastic skeletons was the first one I've ever had from the Games Workshop. But unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of opportunities to play back then. So it was more like collecting and general interesting. But then, about 4 years ago, I met a bunch of people with similar interests, and we decided that one day that we would like to get back to the old days and play the Warhammer Fantasy Battles. And together we decided that we are starting to gathering armies, that we will paint them and we will play together. And we are playing mostly until this day. So that is how I got back to the hobby. Yeah.
It's great, excellent. I'm really glad that you found people of similar interests, and that you're supporting each other and doing some hobby together and actually playing games. So that's really good to hear. So,
as I said, we have a great community here, and a lot of people in the Oldhammer community, so that wasn't a problem.
Yeah, I've already interviewed quite a few people from Poland, and
okay.
about just playing Warhammer 5th edition. Yeah, so I'm really surprised that, well, it's really nice to see, I should say, that there are still people playing the game, because I think for one thing that, once you go online on Facebook and that kind of thing, and the groups and stuff, yeah, you see a lot of people painting the miniatures or collecting the models, but you never see people playing the games. So it's just, a rare case that you actually see people playing, especially like narrative campaigns and there's events. That's very, very rare. So
yeah,
it's really nice and encouraging to see. So gives us hope, mate. Gives us hope that either we can make the event ourselves, or to start up our own events in our own countries in the future. So, all right, Mateusz, well, thank you very much again for coming on today. I really enjoyed our chat and really enjoyed
thank you
learning
once
more
again
about...
for having me.
Mate, my pleasure. Anytime.
Yeah, and at the end, let me tell you that, and our listeners, that all the amazing photos you have seen were taken by Adam from Mini Paint Lab. He was one of the orgs, and it's the courtesy of his that we can admire those awesome armies on those high quality photos here.
Yeah, no, thank you very much, Adam. I saw a lot of these images on Facebook already, but yeah, really nicely taken photographs, and yeah, it just made it possible for us to show these off and during an interview today. So thank you very much for that. Okay, well, I'll leave you to it, mate. So thank you very much again, and we'll catch you the next time, mate. Take care.
Okay, take care.